activism is our curriculum. Yeah, we have these guiding questions for each element. So for activism, it's how are we contributing? How are we actively contributing to building a better world? Right. So when we're measuring the quality of our curriculum, that's the question that we ask. And then from activism, if you say, well, activism is our curriculum, you go, well, what would that curriculum look like? It wouldn't look like English, maths, science, history, art, Spanish. Yeah, it would come out of, how would we actively contribute to build a better world? Well, we'd look at our community, we'd look outward at the world, so we'd look at our world, and then we'd look inward at ourselves. So our community, our world, ourselves, and then we'd look at the real big questions, the real big things that we want to tackle. So with community, it's about social justice. It's like how can we make things fair for everybody in our community? How can we make things better for everybody in our community? For the world, well, we've got the climate emergency, right? And I don't know of any science that can't be taught through that, through looking at the world and where we live. And then ourselves, it's about diversity and belonging, equity, and how we have to change ourselves in order to affect the world positively. So that's where we come from. We have this. Our culture goes into our design principles, and then activism goes into our curriculum, and then our 3 elements, and then from that we create cross-curricular expeditions. That's what we see our art as. But yeah, in year 11, halfway through, do we concentrate on passing exams? Yes, we do. Yeah, because they open doors. Yeah, and have they had a brilliant time in year 7, 8, 9, 10? Yes, they have. So that's what we have to do in our constrained system. So we do our best. Am I actively involved in trying to change that? Yes, I am. It seems to be having traction from left and right. We always think of the great book by Ron Berger and everybody in EL education, leaders of their own learning. Yeah, and that's really what leadership is about. It's not about looking up to someone who is leading you. It's about becoming a leader in your own right. So yeah, absolutely, it's about empowering you. So when we look at it, when we do information analysis, it's not a done to process, it's a done with process. So the most powerful sort of interventions are when we get the data, the information as close to the child as possible, So they feel responsible for their attendance, they feel responsible for their habits of work and learning, they feel responsible for their academic performance, and they come up with pledges in order to become the best version of themselves. It's sort of a matter of will, and that's a sort of flippant thing to say, because I can understand how hard it is to move from one thing to another. But we have similar problems as well. We call it entropy, right? Because if you don't inject energy into a system, the people in that system will go towards what's easiest. Yeah, what's the easiest thing to do? And for a teacher, it's to rock up, talk at the kids for a bit, and then go home. Yeah, but with our school, we've got to inject this energy into creating these structures, so creating narrative arcs, working with other teachers to get the benefits of a cross-curricular expedition. I can show all those things that we do, but that doesn't necessarily allow some people who feel stuck in where they are to get to where they need to be. From my perspective, I can say, well, yeah, they're just excuses. You can do it because we've done it. But it's scary, it's complicated, it's hard. Not many other people are doing it, So I understand why people choose not to do it, but it is a choice. So we do need that special kind of person who cares deeply, who has real compassion about what they do, and they want to develop themselves as well as the children. So we really think about the character of the people that we're employing, not necessarily the skill set. The skill set can be taught. Design principles for me is like that's where you start and that's where you end. If you have a great mission statement and great values, you can see that they normally live and die with the head teacher who's created them. You know, it's sort of like these missions are normally owned by people, whereas our design principles are understood. It's a concept, it's an idea. An idea is a lot harder to kill.